Hey guys, I'm going to give you a few things to get ready for Sunday's live seminar. There's a reason why we did 4 weeks in a row on stress. We did 2 weeks on physical stress, 2 weeks on emotional stress, and those of you who attended, you can see why this was necessary in order for us to talk about stomach acid and digestion, because we learned that when we're talking about stress, we're talking about the parasympathetic nervous system being compromised, and that is your rest and what? Your rest and digest system. Okay, so if that system is compromised, we are automatically going to have an issue, and we discussed the pathways about how and why that is. However, when we're talking specifically about stomach acid, we're going to give you some really interesting and very, very effective remedies for stomach acid on Sunday. However, I just want to cover a couple things that are in the UTC manual already, because we always just want to get the elephants out of the room, right? That's why I did the 4 seminars on stress first, because we discussed very, very effective and easy ways to mitigate certain stressors emotionally and physically. But we also got to look at chewing our food. So in the very beginning of the manual, I give some information about chewing and the problems there if we're not taking the time to chew, because that's really going to affect our digestion tremendously. And of course, the 3 major pillars of health in general is going to be the quality of our nutrition, how much we're sleeping, and the fact that we need to move well and move often. If we're not doing those 3 things, I can assure you that your digestion similarly will have a compromise. So there are definitely real issues, though, that go on with stomach acid. And here's the deal. Most people make the wrong assumption about acid reflux. And to demonstrate this, I included a link in the newsletter where Dr. Oz is talking about his 3 remedies to stomach acid. 2 of the 3 I disagree with strongly, and one of them I will prove to you right now how terribly consequential this is for most of the population. Because if you scroll down in my YouTube videos, I talk about how matters more than what to do, right? It matters much more. How you do something matters much more than what to do. And Dr. Oz, in this 6-minute clip that he did, is demonstrating this perfectly. So one of the things he talks about is using baking soda as a solution to the acid problem. Now, of course, this makes sense intuitively, right? You're putting, essentially a base into an acid, and that should help solve the problem. But you're going to learn on Sunday why this is actually going to make the problem worse, not better. I promise you that. And it's going to make it worse for most of the population that's suffering from acid reflux. However, what I do want you to do is I want you to use that same baking soda to perform a test on yourself. And if you're going to attend the live seminar on Sunday, which I strongly recommend you do, because it will only be in the seminar where I go over the methodology of how to fix these issues. By the way, if you think you're not suffering from a stomach acid issue, I would bet my bottom dollar that you probably are. Most people do, and we'll talk about why. But and you'll know if you are or not after this test. So take that same baking soda that Dr. Oz was talking about. First thing in the morning, put it in about 4 to 6 ounces of water. You want to take about 1/4 teaspoon, put it into 4 to 6 ounces of water, and just drink it. Time yourself. Make sure you have your phone on you, and time how long it takes you to burp. It might be 30 seconds, it might be a minute, it might be 3 minutes. At some point, you're going to let out a burp. Time that. The longer it takes you to burp, the more of an issue you have. And we'll talk about what specific issue you have. I'm not going to let that cat out of the bag. But time it, and it's very important because, again, when I say how matters more than what, this is what I mean. We need to understand what's actually happening, right? If we just treat the symptom, we're not going to solve the underlying cause here. That's why we talked about stress, and we understand why stress is most likely the problem. Then we talked about pillars of health and all these underlying things. So now we're getting more and more and more to the root of the problem, right? And this is your first test. We need to see where are you? If it takes you a couple minutes to burp, you're going to have a very specific issue. If you burp very quickly, it's going to be something different that we're going to talk about. But that's how we're going to start our conversation. Okay, so that's your test. Make sure you get it done. If you like the video, thumbs up it. But more importantly, try to get to this live seminar on Sunday, because we're going to talk about some really cool stuff, guys. Like I said, everything has sort of been leading up to this particular live seminar, with all the other stuff that we did. All right, guys, have a great rest of the day.